the syrup gets drawn into the inside. So when you bite it, it's sticky and crunchy, and then you bite into it and there's all the syrupy goo on the inside as well. That's a heart attack waiting to happen. Yummy! Welcome to Fran and Jay exploring the world.
Except we're not exploring the world. As you can imagine, the COVID-19 pandemic has put our travel plans on a halt, at least for the time being.
We chose a great year to start travel vlogging.
Yeah. But in the absence of actually being able to go anywhere, we'd reminisce on our previous travels before we actually started vlogging.
Today we're going to make Koeksisters. This is a South African treat.
It's most similar to a donut. I think that's probably the closest thing that most people can relate to.
It's pretty much that fried dough.
Yeah. We've made it several times before. Sometimes it turned out nice, sometimes not so much.
They've always turned out nice. Sometimes are more nice than others.
Yeah.
Right, let's get started.
The process starts 24 hours earlier to prepare the syrup.
So I'm using a combination of recipes. The one that we found 10 years ago? When did we make this the first time? Yeah. And then another one I found online which has some little extra bits which I really like. But our first recipe calls for 1 kilogram of sugar, which I think is winning. So, 1 kilogram of sugar.
Oh no, you're 3 grams over.
Meh, that's 3 grams. That's a lot of sugar. 1.5 cups of water. Juice of 1 lemon. Cinnamon sticks. And some ginger. We're using fresh ginger, but you could use ginger powder instead. I don't think that's enough cinnamon, so I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon powder in as well. Oh yeah, that's better. Just 1/2 teaspoon.
Boil the sugar on a high heat for about 10 minutes.
So you want to do this until it's clear. So it's gone clear, like super quickly. And it smells like all things amazing. Alrighty, just chuck this into a bowl. So now we just put that in the fridge overnight to get it super cold.
Next step, make the dough.
So Jay gave me this book for our first wedding anniversary, because first wedding anniversary uses paper. And we've been adding a few recipes in there as we find them. This is our Koeksister recipe. Okay, so 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 60 grams of butter, 1 large egg, and some cooking oil. And 2 cups of flour, which I'm going to measure out now. It's about 240 grams of flour.
I'm sure we can have an extra 2 grams.
Nah, it's just a guesstimation, isn't it?
So now the next step.
Sift the flour, baking powder and salt together. Step 2, rub in the butter.
Step 3, mix with the egg and water, adding a little water at a time.
This is so sticky. Sticky. So yeah, if it's too wet, just add a bit more flour. And if it's too dry, add a bit more water. Little bits is key.
seem to have some sort of dough now.
Just to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks a bit like a mess, but that's fine.
I mean, I'm sure it'll come together. It always does.
Right, so we have a mound of dough. We can't do anything with it yet. We need to rest it. 3 hours of rest.
So now we roll it out.
Roll the dough until it's about 5 millimeters thick. That's about right, I think. Then cut the dough into small rectangles.
We're upside down.
6 centimeters long and 2 centimeters wide.
That is the start of the first one.
And the second one.
And the second one. And they're supposed to be different sizes.
No. But they're fine now. I mean, you could do this like with a measurer.
You mean a ruler?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Fran's new word for the day, a measurer.
A measurer.
This is the bit where I join in. So Fran's cut the little rectangles and I'm going to do the plaiting. Apparently. You need to cut 2 lines but don't cut through the very top. So you start about there. Cut the rectangles to make 3 strips, then plait one over the other. Then pinch the ends together. One little Koeksister. And then we do it again. And there we go. Now we need to do that times 100. Or, I don't know, how many is this going to make?
Don't know.
There we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 38. We have 38 Koeksisters and a little test pile.
So we need to heat the oil to the correct temperature. I don't know how hot it needs to be, but it needs to be hot enough to cook it so that it's golden brown on the outside and cooked all the way through. Not too hot, where it's black on the outside and raw on the inside. We've done that before. So you start with some hot oil and you pop your little piece of dough in there and you let it cook till it's brown, golden brown on the outside but cooked through to the middle. Then straight out of the hot frying pan or the hot oil, into
The syrup.
the syrup, which is still in the fridge because
Which
it
is not there yet.
has to be cold, and we're going to put it on a bed of ice as well to keep it cold, and that means that the syrup gets drawn into the inside. So when you bite it later, when it's ready, it's sticky on the outside and crunchy, and then you bite into it and there's all the syrupy goo on the inside as well. So good. And then we put it on the rack to dry a bit because you don't want them soggy. No soggy buttons.
So, we need to get the syrup out of the fridge.
Now you need to remove the cinnamon sticks and chunks of ginger.
Get off the bloody spoon.
Right, so we're just going to do a test run to make sure that the temperature of the oil is fine. So yeah, let's see how we go. Bubbling! Is that golden brown?
I think it's good enough for a test.
It's good enough for a test. So while it's super hot still, straight in there. And then take it out. As much of that gooiness off as possible. Just gotta wait.
Okay, test blob. Oh, that's good. That is perfect. Like that.
Oh, perfectly gooey. Right.
Alright, can't wait for a real one.
And in they go. You can have this in various sizes. We just made them bite size, but that's because if you have them too big, then you can't finish one. And you need to be able to finish them because they're amazing.
Koeksisters of this size take around 3.5 to 4 minutes to cook. When they're golden brown, put them immediately into the ice cold syrup. Shove it right in there.
See how it changes colour? Oh, it looks so good.
Just look at the shine on that.
That's amazing.
That is incredible.
That's exactly like the picture. Colour-wise. Now to fry the rest of the batch. That's the last one. Oh, look how much syrup we used.
Yeah.
That's like in that small little patch of yumminess. That's a heart attack waiting to happen. Yummy!
Now, that was
Fun?
fun, yes. Best way to eat them now is with a nice cup of tea. Let's give them a go.
Right, let me put that down. Oh. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
So because this goes from hot oil to ice cold syrup, the syrup is all the way through. Look, that is, babe, I think these are like the perfect ones.
Mm.
We haven't made them like this. Quite like this. I think we got this down pat. It's only taken us a day. They take a long time to make.
I love these things.
Oh, so good.
We would make them more often, but this takes such a long time to do. But I suppose that makes them more of a treat, doesn't it?
We use so much of that syrupy stuff.
I'm not even sure how much calories is in one of these things.
If you have to ask, then, well, just don't.
Well, thanks for watching. If you are interested in making these, I'm going to put the recipe in the description down below, linking to our website.
Oh, and send us pictures if you do make them. We're
Oh,
always
yes.
interested to see what other people's creations look
Yeah,
like.
send it to us on our Facebook or our Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
We'd love to see what you've made.
Happy lockdown, people.
We'll see you somewhere, probably back in our living room again.
Yeah, probably.